Hello and welcome to Aspire 2023. My name is Matt Abbott. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Cavallo, and I am here today to describe how we supercharge order management for Microsoft Dynamics. Specifically, we provide the best order management platforms in the world for the Microsoft Dynamics SMB offerings, both Dynamics GP as well as Dynamics 365 Business Central. Our company was founded almost 20 years ago now. We're celebrating our 20-year anniversary by a distributor who had invested in Dynamics GP and wanted to make his business much more profitable, more efficient. And before too long, he realized that he actually had a software package there. Our company was founded under the name SalesPad, which is still the name of our platform for GP. And over the years, we've served over 1,000 companies, 20,000 users, and we have really made a name for ourselves with high retention rates, high customer satisfaction rates, because of our intense focus on value. We are built around ensuring that our customers become more profitable, become more efficient, and therefore we help them grow. In the background here, you see a number of businesses that are typically product oriented. So our bread and butter really is distribution businesses, light manufacturers, brands that are very product focused. And as you can imagine, over the past 5-6 years, we've helped a number of companies really expand their business model and become more omni-channel in nature. And so our business really has expanded in terms of the types of businesses we serve and the problems that we help businesses solve. In terms of the types of customers, I've mentioned the fact on the left here that we primarily serve companies that are product-based, increasingly omni-channel in nature, and quite often SMB. One important note there is that given the efficiency that we've helped bring to companies, quite often we've helped companies really approach the enterprise level in terms of sales because we help companies grow so quickly and efficiently. In terms of the types of buyers, if you will, the folks that are typically shopping for software, making decisions, we often speak very directly to owner-operators because they're looking for software that not only meets their needs from an efficiency standpoint, but drives increased profitability, whether that is revenue generation, expansion of gross margin, or both. Sales leaders absolutely appreciate the scalability that we bring and the increase in revenue per employee that we can help companies achieve as we help their sales teams become more efficient. Operations leaders love the automation that our workflow tools have in the box, and therefore they love the ability to drive out errors, mistakes, and labor that's really not required. And then because of our very tight integration with GP or BC, the IT leaders that we serve very much appreciate the simplicity that our offerings bring. In terms of the types of problems we solve, I've alluded to some of these already, but companies that have hundreds of customers, thousands of products, quite often hundreds or thousands of orders a day, recognize that it's quite often very difficult to manage profitability, and they're experiencing limited control of margin. And we really do, through our workflow engines, the visibility that we bring, provide tremendous control over margin and really help companies boost their profitability quite quickly. In order to close deals quickly, that first phone call, the first time an order is being entered or managed, clear understanding of inventory is critical, and we bring that in spades. Given our efficiency orientation, whether you're in GP or BC, whichever platform, we drive tremendous efficiency in order entry. And also, if I move to the other column, just tremendously robust workflow capabilities that really drive or allow for flexibility around the processes that companies are trying to automate. And so whether we really serve orders from any source, whether they're coming in from EDI, e-commerce, marketplaces, manual order entry, whatever that may be, we provide a tremendous amount of flexibility while also robustness and control over process through our workflow engine. In the GP space, as I mentioned, we've been operating and bringing products to the market for 20 years now. And therefore, our SalesPad platform for Dynamics GP is extremely robust. While certainly those core tenets around order management, workflow, true across the board for our products and frankly our company's DNA, but in the GP space, we bring a broad range of capabilities, and I'll just touch on a few. Starting in sort of the upper right, you see customer and order management, you see CRM, you see CPQ around pricing, advanced quotes, configurators. We also provide a very robust capability around shipping. On the lower right, you see inventory management. So really a wonderful and easy to use barcoding capability there. You see analytics that we're bringing forth more and more throughout our product lines. On the left side, you see things like credit card processing. Of course, being able to embed PCI compliant payment processing is critical, whether you're taking the order manually or whether you're processing an order through workflow, which leads me to workflow automation, a tremendously robust capability set that brings tremendous efficiency and speed to moving orders through a company's process. And then as we complete the circle here, particularly over the past few years, as I've alluded to, a tremendous focus on enabling omni-channel for our customers as they expand their business models. And we continue to expand our integrations with companies like Shopify, Adobe Commerce, formerly Magento, and WooCommerce, to ensure that the companies we serve have the broad set of capabilities they need to grow and compete in today's economy. I want to share a couple examples of results, and just a couple here from the GP space or SalesPad platform that start to illustrate the types of results that we bring day in and day out. Here, one of our great customers, Crown Metals, describing how even their best CSR went from handling 85 orders per day to 140 with our products. So a 65% increase in output, again, illustrating that efficiency that we bring day in and day out. Another example from Picnic Time, another wonderful customer of ours, through our automation, our integration with SPS from an EDI standpoint, really bringing a tremendous amount of automation to their process and driving 90% of the clicks out, going from 10 clicks to 1 in terms of the processes and the steps that their team needed to go through to process EDI orders. Now, if we change gears and talk about our Business Central offerings, in truth, our Business Central offerings are much newer, which provides some great opportunities to bring different technology to the fore, but also in full transparency, we haven't been developing them for 20 years. And so therefore, the breadth of offerings is tighter. And therefore, using a pretty standard sort of order to cash cycle as a framework, you see a smaller set of modules, but very much focused on that core that I described earlier around order management. So in the Business Central space, our order management dashboard, which is focused on providing visibility end-to-end for companies that want to see orders, their status, understand if they're bottlenecks, wherever they are in the process, the order management workflow, and I'll share a view of this in just a minute around extremely easy to use, no code required, setting up very robust workflow, very easy to modify and change as companies grow and expand as well. Our KPI dashboard coming soon, our first analytics offering in the BC space. And then in the lower left, you see customer management and order entry capabilities for those companies that are more CSR heavy, if you will, more manual order entry, order processing, some really great tools that really extend and improve Business Central to make them much more efficient in terms of managing customer information, managing orders. In the lower right-hand corner, again, that integrated payment processing with our great partner Notice. In terms of our Business Central results very similar. Here's a story from Toolmatics, a great customer of ours, illustrating how our benefits in the Business Central space, very similar to the capabilities and benefits that we've brought for years and years for GP. And here's an example where that visibility into order profitability, order status, quote profitability, quote status is very beneficial to Toolmatics in this case, and that allows them to catch problematic orders before they're placed so that company can make more money and ensure that sales reps are armed with the information they need to negotiate more strongly with customers and make sure that, again, all the orders moving through the systems are the right ones and ones that we really want to support. So with that, I'm going to take just a couple minutes here to show you our software and give you a sense of just how easy it is to use and the value that it can bring to your business quite quickly. Let's start with the workflow engine that I've talked about quite a bit already. We're extremely proud of the control, but also the flexibility and ease of use, because we understand, particularly in this day and age, that companies are expanding. They're adding channels, they're adding product lines, adding customers or customer classes. You need to be able to create robust workflow, but you also need to change it over time. And it needs to be easy to update as the business grows and expands. And so what you're seeing here is the representation of a relatively straightforward order process, starting with new order all the way through shipping, creating an invoice, etc. And I want to start by just showing how easy it is to add a new step in the process. So let's say we want to add an accounts receivable or AR review. You're adding a new queue, you see it starts at the bottom, but then you can drag and drop, figure out where you want it in the process. You've already added a new step. As an example, you see that represented in the middle of the page here. In the middle of the page, and I won't belabor the details here, but that's where you can now add steps, whatever automated actions, what paths you want orders to follow, very much graphical in nature in terms of adding those details. And I'm gonna cancel any changes there. Here, as I click on business rules, what you see is we are allowing the ability for users to add omnipresent checks, things like adding a gross margin check, the system looking at each line item in this example and evaluating the gross margin of each and every line item on an order. Here I've set up an easy rule, basically indicating that no matter where in the process an order stands, they're going to be caught, or in my vernacular, put in the penalty box if the gross margin for any line item is below 10%. Now I'm going to go ahead and cancel this and leave without adopting any of those changes. But hopefully what you can see here is that it is, again, extremely easy to make any changes to workflow. It's super easy to set up workflow that is extremely robust end to end. Now the benefit of that, or one of the benefits of that, is now the visualization and the understanding of where each and every order stands in the process. You see the details here, and I'll just move my face out of the screen there so you see some of the details down below. For example, we've got 5 orders in the new order step, and it's very easy to see, as an example, how many products are on the orders, what the margin is associated with the order, and basically now you understand where the company stands in terms of the flow of orders, the dollars associated with that order, all of those orders at any time. Importantly, again, in my vernacular, you can now see the penalty box. And very interestingly, you see an order here that has 2 products on it. Overall, the order is, in this example, above that Mendoza line in terms of the gross margin percentage. But when we now click into the details, we can see that the order has those 2 line items on it. And very interestingly, one of the line items has a gross margin that is above the acceptable level, and one has a gross margin that's below that acceptable level. And so you see very easily that an order was caught, put in the penalty box, and now me in more of a manager persona here, I can approve or reject this order, give feedback to the sales rep as to what my feedback is. Cannot support this pricing with this customer, and reject it. Sending it back to the sales rep or CSR, whoever is managing this order. Again, I'm going to cancel for now, but very easy to see now how a very robust workflow is easily established, tremendous visibility and tremendous control over those orders that don't necessarily meet thresholds. Now, let's see that in flight now if I want to create a new order. Here I'm choosing the customer. You see our order entry screen. Very easy to see and configure the header details associated with any particular customer. Now, as I look to leverage as much of the real estate on the order entry screen as possible, I can collapse the header details, start selecting items here. I've already started to add the Athens desk. I'm just going to go forward with that standard price. I'm going to update the quantity to 5. You see in the upper right, overall order details are being updated. I'm going to add another item. Importantly, you see in the upper right still the order looks fine. It's going to head to the next step in the workflow. But now, if I decide to perhaps break those rules, perhaps unknowingly at first, you see as the person entering the order, I'm now getting visual cues that the order has a low gross margin, and now I am about to break a rule. And so therefore, our software, through that visibility, through the application of the workflow rules, is already telling the user, be careful here. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and say, this is a first-time customer. Want to sort of lead with an attractive first order, please approve type thing. And I'm going to submit that for approval. And then what do? I get that visual cue, of course, but now if I go back to the mission control screen, that order management dashboard, now you see that there are 2 orders in the penalty box, if you will, including that new one that I just created. And again, overall, the order doesn't look too bad. But again, because I'm now applying a workflow and sort of business rule to each line item, I'm catching things that may have gone through previously, and therefore I am not leaving money on the table like I may have been doing before. So with that, I will conclude by just summarizing that we bring tremendous visibility across the business in terms of the orders, quotes, invoices, returns that are flowing through a business, tremendous control over profitability. You saw those examples. And with very easy to configure workflow, workflow rules, a lot of automation out of the box, we're able to allow companies to not only build very easily, extremely robust, highly automated workflow, but as the company's needs change, as they grow, companies can make the changes that they need very, very easily and extend that control over process, that automation, and the ability to bring tremendous efficiency and tremendous profitability to their business over time. I hope that you've enjoyed that demo and through this conversation learned quite a bit about Cavallo and the value that we can bring to your business. I want to thank you for your time and ask you to visit us at cavallo.com, or of course, if you're interested in our Business Central offerings, you can also find us on AppSource. Feel free to reach out directly if you like. Again, my name is Matt Abbott. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer here at Cavallo, and appreciate your time and wish you all the best. Thank you.